Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer, and we are playing Command Modern Naval Air Operations, trying to conduct a strike mission against Pakistan. One important aspect of that is that we do think that the head of the Japanese Navy, head of the Pakistani Navy, is traveling to Omara Naval Base over here. Let's switch back to group view. Jinnah Naval Base close to Omara Airport, and that he might have visited this naval base in his private jet. So we just spotted a jet over here taking off with one of our flights of F-35s. Had a bit of a different mission actually, so it's not exactly the reason why it was here, but it did manage to spot this guy, and we have launched a missile at him. So let's see whether we can bring that home any further. Whether we can shoot down this plane and maybe deprive the Pakistanis of a very important asset over here. Now, it should be noted that this is a little bit similar to what actually happened in real life in World War II, when the Americans did kill Yamamoto, the Japanese head of the Navy, was one of the masterminds of Pearl Harbor, one of the most important masterminds. And they did manage to shoot him down based on intelligence when he was traveling to visit a couple of, or inspect a couple of troops. So yeah, it's a bit similar in that regard, and that was a big booster in the morale. Whether it's ethical to target any specific commander in such a way is maybe a little bit debatable. But you know what, in this campaign that is one of our goals, so we are going to execute on that. You can see the missile coming in here towards this positively identified enemy craft, and we will hopefully... No! Final hit probability of 73%, and we did lose, so that's a little bit unfortunate. You can see these numbers over here. There we go, another missile being launched. I'm not convinced that we should not pursue this any further in case that they would not be... well, let's hope this missile detects. If it doesn't, we still have this aircraft in the air, and it does have 20mm guns. So, you know what, actually I do think that we are going to try to do that. Let's go to minimum altitude in terrain following mode. It will probably be a lot less fuel efficient, but let's come down over here and maybe evade the enemy radar a little bit so that we can then sneak up on him. We do know that there are some very potent enemy anti-air missiles stationed over here, but that is something that we'll need to clarify. You're just 80 feet above the ground now, which is fairly low. I don't actually know how high this guy is, but we do know that you're nearly traveling, well, you're coming up a little bit north. Missile is passing over the airfield. Yeah, you're actually coming northeast, so this is a good good pattern over here if we want to intercept him, if that is required. So watch the second approach over here. Our missile should actually be fairly good, and as you can see, it was, so was really just a bit unlucky. Yeah, they're probably just 2,000 feet high. And another miss at this probability. Incredible. Honestly, truly incredible. That's one lucky guy. Where are you traveling? You're traveling north again. And you're starting to travel west again. Let's see whether we can't do anything about that. You have a lot of fuel left, so let's go to military speed. 36 nautical miles. And yeah, maybe that's not gonna be enough. Where are you going? 310. We would actually need to come right at him, I think. He's going sort of this way. They don't want to be too close to him, so you know what? Let's actually go back to cruise speed, because otherwise we'll not have the range to intercept him. And a straight pattern I don't think would be advisable. We are just 20 miles away from that airport as well, so that's not exactly ideal. While we are doing this, we shouldn't lose track of this thing down here entirely. So let's pause for a second. So we do have our submarine here encroaching on this enemy ship. Let's do a symbol for the underwater weapons. You'd only be able to engage within this range, so we can't actually get much closer to you. I think right until up over here. What's the depth at which we can launch these guys? 2,000 feet. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Really? 2,000 feet? Impressive. Okay, so we'll just get closer and very soon probably launch a couple of torpedoes. Does it make sense though? So our torpedoes did have a speed of 35. I think they were capable of a speed of 29 knots. So very nearly identical. And if we launch at 4 miles, they'd actually be able to outrun us. So they can get really far away. I think we can only launch truly at about maybe 2 miles. What's your engagement range? 2 miles. So we need to be watchful for that. But against surface targets, I think we should tell you to hold, so that we can fire at an approximate range that does make sense to us. Oh, I kind of... Wait a minute. Don't crash on... So, my apologies. Apparently the game crashed. So, we are back though. We haven't lost too much progress. I think what I was just about to do is set up a flight path for this guy over here. This guy we told to change its course a little bit and be on hold basically. So let's accelerate time somewhat till we get where we need to be. Oh, and I of course wanted to pick up this flight over here and bring it up a little bit towards over here. Maybe not quite as far. I think more like that. That should be fine. You do have quite a lot of fuel left for more than an hour, so we should be alright over there. So, let's see what we can do over here. The aircraft is doing funny things. What is it actually doing? It seems to be nearly coming back towards the airport. It's an extremely interesting pattern. Okay, let's bring this guy in faster. And see what's going on up over there. I don't like what this guy's doing. It seems like he might even be actually returning to the airport. But I don't want to get to visual range within the airport. That to me just doesn't seem to be a good choice. Oh, I do notice that one of these ships has sunk, so that's very good news. How far are you away now? A little bit over 4 miles, so that's interesting. 136. Yeah, I think you're returning. We haven't actually seen him now in a while. So that means you don't need to be quite as fast. Either he's coming back or he isn't, but... No. Seems like he actually returned to base. That was a very clever move. That was extraordinary lucky guy. Oh, nope, there he is. But yeah, he's still returning, I think. Did we actually pop up a little or something? No, we did not. 136. See, we are shadowing him with our F-35, which is stealth. That's the only reason why I'm actually operating it over there. But we'll have to see. You are now 3 miles from your target. Very interesting. 3 miles might be a good range to launch. Let's think about that. So, our torpedo. Come on. Our torpedo, speed of 35 knots. This guy, speed of maybe 30. So, once we travel 35, yeah, we can only really truly launch at less than 2 miles. 2 miles is the engagement range of this guy though, so I'm too reluctant to actually launch at that distance. Over here it seems like maybe that flight is heading towards a slightly different direction. I don't think so, but we'll have to see. Weird, that aircraft seems to be circling around almost. Which does tell us you can come on back north. One of you is gonna get... One of these guys is gonna get him. Right, over here. I think we are fairly confident about the position of this guy, so... You know what? Actually, come up to periscope depth. Yeah. Go ahead though. Let's fire 2 torpedoes at this guy. And let's see whether we are successful. Oh, we're on pause. That's why nothing is happening. There we go. Torpedo number 1. And number 2. We'll probably see him accelerate and change directions very quickly. Because he should be able to detect the torpedoes in the water. They have a very high speed, they must be cavitating, so creating little bubbles basically that burst and are extremely loud, extremely easy to hear on any sonar. So yeah, that is a thing. Right, that aircraft up there, very hard to see. But I do want to find it. Let's see, I want to stay... I think it was at least 40 miles. I think it was a radius of 40 miles, so this seems to be a good position. Means this guy must be heading in a little bit closer, but we'll have to see about that. It seems like he still hasn't spotted us though. That's good. I mean, that's extremely good for us. 70 knots. He's slowing down actually. 12 knots? 10 knots? What's going on? Almost looks like he's pausing. That's extremely weird. Why would you do that? Probably he's listening, but we are... He must... If he's listening, he must be hearing these torpedoes. Let's hope that we can catch him off guard over here. It's actually not that far away now. Just 800 meters. 900 meters maybe. One in the front. 700 meters. That should be doable. Oh, new contact. Let's see what that is. 27 miles. That probably... Well, we don't know. Okay, you are over here. Let's get sucked in a little bit more. And you know what? You can come up towards over here. I think there's probably another drone or... Yeah, it does seem to be a drone. Very likely to be an enemy drone if it's over here. But I do want to focus on these torpedoes. 300 meters. Still very slow. Practically dead in the water. Yeah, so there we go. It is an enemy Chinese supplied drone. So that was a launch that we could just hear. And here we go. torpedo actually did hit. Fairly good hit. And I do think that this guy is basically dead in the water. So that's very nice. We did manage to sink a ship over here, 170 crew, 3,000 tons, and quite a bit of a threat to us. So yeah, very nice to see. So let's bring this guy closer towards the other ships then. We don't know exactly where you are. I would like to get you to periscope depth just so you can maybe spot them, but we'll have to see about that. Right, over here this drone is being chased, and you know what, you can get over there. Probably get a visual on him soon. That drone is dead as well, that's nice to see. You can and should be coming up a little bit over here. Maybe we'll catch this guy. We'll have to see. Either with the guns or with the missile. Have we more information on your altitude at least? No. Yeah, now we do. 1,000 feet above ground level. Thousand feet above ground level, so I would like you to be on low altitude terrain following. Come down here. What's his speed? We didn't know that. Interesting. I always find that a little bit weird because you could actually guess that from just looking at the map. 20 degrees, you are turning south. I don't think you're actually aware that we are coming up behind you. Fairly same altitude, so that's good for us. Just 50 feet difference. Stop. Engage this guy. Really, you're not in the engagement arc. I'm gonna attribute a lot of things to you, and we'll see. Miss. Again, another miss. Why are you going so high? You shouldn't be going so high. Stay low. Stay low. Stay on. Okay, so things are happening, and they are happening a little bit faster than I would like. So we do have mobile installations down here, and I very much think that these are the submarines that we, the anti-submarine warfare, anti-air warfare platforms that we did see earlier. So let's see what we can do about these guys. That is a fairly good lock. You, on the other hand, can just go off somewhere else. Maybe you'll spot something, maybe not. Right, this aircraft is fairly good, but I am concerned about what's happening over here. Because we are flying too close towards these guys. Come on, come up, come up. They're so lucky. This is one lucky admiral. Come on, turn left. Don't let me down. New contact, yeah, more mobile platforms over here. These are really problematic. Surveillance, but it is encouraging to see that we are able to fly over here without being immediately engaged. Although, on the other hand, we are fairly low. Let's see over here. It seems like we are using our radars as we are over here. Another miss. I just really can't believe that. Don't go high. Just don't do that, please. Just stick to your minimum altitude. Well, low altitude. and just stick to loiter speed, because otherwise he'll be too fast. You'll not be able to catch him, or you'll be outrunning him. This is incredible. Just look at all the installations though over here. So these must be the forces that we were warned about. So I would like you to go to minimum altitude, loiter speed. Well, we did manage to shoot him down, finally though. So the transport containing the head of the Pakistani Navy has been shot down. He's presumed dead. What he was doing in a slow transport in a war zone in the first place remains to be seen. So yeah, we don't know that, but it is certainly time to get out of here. So let's go to minimum altitude. Let's go to military speed or afterburner even. Go to terrain following, and I think that should be alright. So let's see. I'm afraid about these missiles. We are very, very low, but there's nothing in between us. And that is certainly very problematic. Lots of armor over here. Lots of artillery and so on. So these are the enemy, the Pakistani forces that we would like to engage at some point in some fashion. So we were able to spoof these guys. This is just a generic flare. We do have some chaff. We could actually tactical options, delay chaff. Yes, very nice. So we were able to spoof these guys. I'm not sure that whether they are still tracking us or whether they have lost us. Nope, they definitely are still tracking us. So yeah, more missiles coming towards us. Are you deploying a chaff though? You really should be doing that. Yeah, you are. But you need to get out of here. You really need to get out of here. Your luck will run out at some point. New contacts? What's that? SAM battery? I think that must be that missile. Very nice to see that being spoofed. Interesting to be so close to the enemy over here. And we just... okay, so some more anti-air is flying up from over here. Probably from these mechanized things. No, what's actually firing at you? Probably some element of the anti-air defenses over here. Yeah, but we are way too close and being spotted. We do need to get out of here. New contact, Sam. Yeah, I know. I know. What else have we got? Have we got active or passive capabilities to disturb them in any way whatsoever? All of that operates autonomously. We have a laser designator. I think that is what was flaring up earlier. Laser, element. We don't have any sort of jamming capability. I think, you know, at some point this guy is gonna... Whoa. I see missiles flying south, and that means they are attacking this guy. And that's not what should happen. So let's bring it down towards over here on a very quick afterburner run, so that we can at least outrun these missiles. But with the F-35, I'm really reluctant. I think this will soon die. There's just no way that we are getting, just by evading, this guy is getting ever more closer. And there we go, it is destroyed. That's unfortunate. We did lose our first UK airframe over here. I'm still hopeful about this guy. Should maybe be able to outrun the missiles. But we will have to see about that actually. So, on the other hand, our helicopter is coming in still, taking its sweet time, but that should be alright. These ships, so let's see whether we can outrun the missiles. Seems alright, hopefully. Yeah, looking good actually. Right, so that means you can come up over here. Go actually to loiter speed and do me a favor, turn your sensors on. Because I do want to know about these ships. Want to know their precise location so that we can intercept them with our submarines. Let's see if we can confirm that. It looks about right. Also looks like they are coming in somewhat weirdly. 5 knots, 20 knots. Yeah, maybe one of them is just waiting a little. Should be fine though. So you can come up over here. And that should be fine. Good. Helicopter coming in. Our Navy's doing sensible things generally. Aircraft still being prepared, 3 hours left. So I think that's fine. So yeah, unfortunate loss over here. We did gain a lot more intel though, so that's very interesting and good to know. And I think that does tell us quite a bit more about these targets over here. So I think what we're going to do is next time talk a little bit about our attack plan for this. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.